What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Pocket Change. So I just wanted to go over some information right now. We're looking at the Apple stock, okay? I want to tell you guys about Apple because Apple right now is going down right now. So this year to date, Apple is 19% down. Now, do I think that it's going to keep going down? Apple has been kind of slow compared to the rest of the big seven. So Apple has been running a bit slow, but Apple, to be honest, is a long-term play. It's a good stock, and we're going to see what happens basically in the long term because people who get into Apple are not expecting to make 3, 4, 500% return like in Palantir or other stocks like that. So Apple right now is sitting at $200. It's down 19% year to date, but for the year, it's up 2%. Now, Goldman Sachs maintains a buy rating at 12 months. The price target of Goldman Sachs is 253, citing Apple's durable revenue streams and robust product ecosystem. So, in the long run, Apple is being seen by people as something that is long term, that is a staple in America, right? A lot of people won't even touch an Android phone. They will only stick with Apple. Now, Apple is a slower growing stock compared to some of the other stocks that I own. But in the long run, it's a strong stock and it's a contender for a lot of people to be one of the big players in their portfolio. Bank of America securities analyst Wamsi Moen sees a long-term investment opportunity, highlighting Apple's strong ecosystem over 2.3 billion active devices. Potentially, that's huge, right? 2.3 billion active devices. And Wedbush Securities rates Apple at $270 in 12 months. So a lot of people are still rating Apple high. Needham and Company downgraded Apple to 225. So these are some of the bearish concerns that are some of the bearish concerns that people are having about AI and how they might be overspending for AI. And also, there's a lot of other people who's doing AI also. So some of the same stuff that Apple's doing, Google's doing it too. You have Apple right now trying to move Google off of their search engine. And so who are they going to go to next? Is that search engine going to be good? You know, just because there's changes in big businesses, that can be bearish in itself. So that's some things you got to be mindful about. Apple really doesn't innovate as much as they used to, right? They used to. Their old CEO Cook, he used to renovate a lot of stuff, and so they don't do it as much as they used to. But it's still a solid company, and they have revenue coming in because they have the market, the Apple market, right? So some analysts are saying Apple can stay around 210 by 2026, which is 12 months from here. So, and I think that is possible because if we do see a downturn by the summer, if we see a downturn summer coming down, we might be going down all the way to mid next year. But the difference is Apple has already been going down. So when others are going down, Apple might be moving sideways and then up. So the financial matrix, market cap approximately 3.28 trillion. Okay, PE ratio of 33 and EPS is 6.42. All right, dividend yield of 0.52. So, and that dividend yield with a 5-year dividend growth rate of 5.56. So that's pretty good. Long term, I think is the best bet for Apple. I think long term, Apple's going to do great. Some of the key takeaways is the 2.3 billion active devices, right? Having that many devices is incredible for a company. The 5-year CAGR is almost 20%. So it's almost 20%. It's a slower growing CAGR, but compared to the S&P 500, the S&P 500 is 10% over the same period. So, and a good thing that with Apple, they have consistent growth, constantly. They're always doing some type of upgrades. Now, they might not be putting new devices out, but they are putting new upgrades out, right? So Apple over the year, this is just the charts I'm showing you. They did 2%. And over the 5 years, Apple has done 142%. So over 5 years, Apple has caught up. So people are very scared that Apple won't give them the returns they're looking for. But you know, Apple is consistent. It's consistent with the returns. You know, you're not getting big returns like you are in other stocks, but you have to remember sometimes you just need a solid stock that holds you down during ups and downs. And right now, Apple is taking a little dip, but this is a great time to buy right now. If you look at the charts, what we're going to check out right now. So let's go, jump into the Apple chart. So right now we're looking at right here is the blue 50 moving average. So we're looking under that. So right now Apple is in a buy zone. It is in a buy zone, and we'll see where that goes. You know, based off of this, we can come down even further. Let's see how it went years ago. So what it actually looks like is that Apple really doesn't ever go up past 30 or down below the 30. So what that means is this is a wonderful time to buy. You might not see this for a long time. This is March 2024. You see how it dips just a little bit each time. So this is a very solid stock. You're not even getting a 30% dip, you know? So let's see what it did in 2020. Okay, 2019. 2020 dip. Let's see how far it went, because Apple actually, look at that, less than 30% right there. You're talking about a 30% drop in Apple. So in the long run, Apple is a solid stock and it's very strong. And check this out, we have another metrics for you. So this is just some of my lines here. We have the risk lines here, and yeah, it's looking like a buy. It's at the green line here. Let me pull this up a little bit. All right, so this is the same thing except smaller increments. So still at the buy zone. The green line is the fair value of my buy zone. The red line is my fire sale. Okay, the orange line would be the 30% above, and then the blue purple line would be extremely overpriced. So what we're looking at now is as you can see down here, we are very low on the RSI, very low. And so right now Apple is a buy, and I think in the long run it's doing pretty good. I think that, yeah, you might be looking at, you know, a very small return from here to the next year, but also you might be looking at higher return in the long run. So I hope you guys like this video. I'm just dropping this out for you guys so you guys can take a look at it. At the long run, I do think Apple's a good buy, and I think it fits well in anybody's portfolio, especially when it's returning 145% in 5 years. Hit that like and subscribe. I hope you like this video.